Japan. An archipelago where time does not run, it breathes. Between sacred mountains and silver seas, Japan exists as a bridge between worlds. The visible and the invisible, the fleeting and the eternal. Here, every falling petal, every breaking wave, every ringing bell is an act of reverence to impermanence. From the frozen north of Hokkaido to the coral south of Okinawa, the country unfolds like a poem of contrasts. Futuristic cities shine beside silent temples, and trains that glide on rails of steel pass by gardens where moss has grown for centuries. Everything seems to coexist in harmony. Tradition and technology, silence and sound, flower and sword. The Japanese soul is woven of restraint and beauty. In the tea ceremony, time slows until it fits within a cup. In temples, the sound of wind becomes prayer. In the streets of Tokyo, electric lights replace the stars. Yet the same essence endures, the pursuit of balance. Japan is not merely a place, it is a state of awareness, an invitation to see the unseen, to feel the instant before it vanishes. Like a haiku that captures the world in 3 verses, the entire country is an art of simplicity. And when the sun rises over Mount Fuji and the sky turns pale gold, the mystery of this land unfolds. Here, every dawn is a rebirth. Japan does not reveal itself all at once. It bows in silence and lets the heart discover. Mount Fuji. At the heart of Honshu Island, Mount Fuji rises like a prayer made of stone and snow. Its perfect shape, symmetrical, calm, almost unreal, mirrors the Japanese soul, a balance between strength and serenity. No other place feels so close to the heavens and yet so deeply rooted in the earth. At sunrise, Fuji dresses itself in gold and mist. Clouds wrap around it like translucent veils, and the air, crisp and pure, carries the distant scent of pine. Around it, the lakes Kawaguchi and Yamanaka reflect its silhouette, creating a double mirror between the real and the sacred. It is the moment when the mountain seems to breathe, alive, patient, eternal. For centuries, pilgrims have climbed its slopes seeking purification. They walked in silence, guided only by the wind and the murmur of prayers. The ancients believed Fuji to be the dwelling of gods. And indeed, there is something in it that belongs outside of time, a presence that watches, serene, since the beginning. In summer, trails open and thousands of footsteps trace paths along the mountain. In winter, it closes upon itself, wrapped in snow and mystery. Yet in every season, Fuji remains unchanged, a natural temple where eternity takes form. At dusk, as the sky turns crimson and shadows stretch across the valleys, Mount Fuji seems to dissolve into light. And those who gaze upon it understand. It is not just a mountain, it is Japan, breathing. Kyoto. Between mist-covered hills and jade rivers, Kyoto rests like a reliquary of the Japanese soul. For over 1,000 years it was the imperial capital, and even today it holds the scent of the past in every narrow street, in every torii rising as a passage between the human and the divine. To walk through Kyoto is to step into another dimension, where the sound of footsteps mingles with the whisper of maple leaves. To the north, the Golden Pavilion, Kinkakuji, gleams upon the mirror of a still lake. Its walls, covered in pure gold, reflect the sky with the serenity of a thought. When the wind brushes the water's surface, the reflection ripples, and the temple seems to dissolve into light. Here, beauty seems designed to vanish and to be reborn with every gaze. To the south, the Fushimi Inari Shrine stretches like a tunnel of red gates winding through the mountains. Thousands of torii, placed one after another, form a corridor of fire and shadow. As one walks through, the outer world drifts away. The sound of bells and offerings echoes among the bamboo, and the soul walks alone. Kyoto is built on subtle contrasts: the silence of temples and the murmur of markets, the gold of Kinkakuji and the scarlet of Inari, the fleeting cherry blossom and the endurance of stone. Everything here teaches that beauty is not possession, it is presence. When evening cloaks the city in amber tones, lanterns flicker to life and the air fills with incense. Kyoto sleeps in prayer, holding Japan's oldest secret: how to turn the ephemeral into eternity. Tokyo. The city pulses like an electric heart. By day, the sun glints off mirrors of glass and steel. By night, the sky fills with neon and motion. Tokyo is a living organism, constantly shifting, a choreography of light, sound, and crowds that intersect without colliding. At the Shibuya crossing, where thousands of footsteps weave together in seconds, chaos gains rhythm, and movement becomes art. Every corner is a universe. Billboards vibrate like artificial constellations, and the air smells of rain and electricity. The hum of underground trains mingles with the distant call of a street vendor, while the wind carries the sweet scent of cherry blossoms from Yoyogi Park. Within the noise lies a hidden harmony, the same silence that lingers beneath the ringing of an ancient temple bell. Yet a few blocks away, time slows its pace. In the Imperial Garden, the wind drifts over ponds, and koi glide like slow thoughts. The city's clamor fades behind moss-covered walls, leaving only the sound of leaves brushing the water. Tokyo mirrors modern Japan, a place where technology blooms like an old tree, and the past reflects in the glass of skyscrapers. Haste coexists with stillness, steel with blossom. At dusk, as lights awaken and the skyline becomes a shimmering mosaic, one understands the secret of this city. Tokyo neither sleeps nor wakes. It simply breathes between the moment and eternity. Miyajima Island. Amid the calm waters of the Seto Inland Sea, a red gate rises as if floating. The torii of Itsukushima is more than a structure. It is a threshold between worlds, an invitation to contemplation. When the tide rises, it seems suspended in infinity. When it falls, it reveals the path linking the human and the divine. There, before the liquid horizon, Japan bows in reverence to nature. Miyajima, meaning Shrine Island, is wrapped in ancient forests and hills draped with cedar trees. The air carries the scent of salt and incense, and the sound of waves mingles with the distant ringing of bells. Deer wander freely among visitors, gentle beings that seem to guard the secret of harmony dwelling in this place. The Itsukushima Shrine, built on wooden stilts, appears to float with the torii. Its red corridors stretch over the water, and the temple's reflection merges with that of the sky. Each step is an act of reverence, each gaze a silent offering. At sunset, the sea turns to copper, and the torii glows like a flame over the still surface. The tides, which here govern the rhythm of time, transform the landscape moment by moment, reminding us that all is passage, all is breath. Miyajima is not merely a place. It is a state of being, a sanctuary where humanity learns to hear the sound of stillness and see the sacred in the water's reflection. When night falls and lanterns glow, the torii becomes a beacon of soul, a bridge of light between the fleeting and the eternal. Arashiyama Bamboo Forest. To the west of Kyoto lies a path where the world dissolves into green. The Arashiyama Bamboo Forest is more than a landscape. It is a breath. The slender stalks rise in endless columns, forming a corridor where light filters through in shades of jade. Walking there feels like entering a living temple, where silence has sound and time moves in soft waves. The wind flows through the bamboo, and the sound it creates is unlike any other. A whisper that vibrates like unseen strings. It feels as though it comes from the earth itself, a dialogue between air and leaf. The Japanese call it komorebi, the sunlight that dances through trees, and few places embody it as perfectly as Arashiyama. Each step along the path is meditation. The moss-covered ground absorbs all sound, and the air, cool and faintly damp, carries the scent of wood and ancient rain. At moments, a beam of light pierces the green canopy and illuminates floating dust, revealing that even the unseen has form. In the distance, the bell of Tenryuji Temple rings across the hills like a reminder of impermanence. Monks walk in silence, visitors lower their voices, and the wind continues. The same wind that has blown for centuries, touching the same leaves, telling the same stories. As dusk falls and the forest deepens into a blue shadow, the world seems to pause. Arashiyama is not a place to see, but to listen, to hear the instant when nature speaks, and the heart understands. Himeji Castle. Amid gentle hills and cherry trees swaying in the wind, Himeji Castle rises, a structure so light in appearance it seems ready to take flight. Known as Shirasagi-jo, the White Heron Castle, it is the embodiment of grace in stone and wood. Its white walls and curved rooftops rise in layers resembling open wings, as if the fortress itself were breathing. Built in the 17th century, the castle has survived wars, earthquakes, and the turning of centuries. It stands as the most complete example of Japanese feudal architecture, a perfect harmony of beauty and defense. Its walls were designed to confuse invaders. Every curve, every gate, every shadow hides a secret. Yet from afar, all one sees is serenity, strength disguised as calm. Passing through its gates, the sound of the modern world fades away. The wooden floors creak as though telling ancient tales, and the air carries the scent of time. Through the narrow windows, soft light filters in, brushing the walls like the stroke of a brush. Outside, the garden unfolds like a haiku, written in stone, water, and silence. In spring, Himeji blooms. Cherry blossoms envelop the fortress in a pink veil, and the castle seems to float on a sea of petals. It is the moment when all of Japan sees itself, fleeting, enduring, beautiful. When the sun sets and the white walls glow gold, Himeji Castle seems to turn to spirit, a living memory of what Japan once was and what it will always remain. Nikko National Park. Amid mist-covered mountains and forests that whisper ancient prayers, Nikko National Park stands as an altar raised by the earth itself. Here, nature and spirit intertwine in a harmony almost supernatural. Rivers tumble in luminous waterfalls, lakes rest among pines and cedars, and golden temples seem to grow from moss and rain. The Toshogu Shrine, dedicated to Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu, is the spiritual heart of Nikko. Its gates and towers are adorned with delicate carvings, dragons, flowers, mythical beasts, each detail an act of reverence to life. Inside, silence is thick as incense. Light filters through the wooden slats, breathing gold into the air. Farther ahead, Kegon Falls plunges nearly 100 meters, a curtain of foam and light. The roar of water echoes through the valleys like an eternal mantra. On cold mornings, mist rises from the abyss, and the air tastes of dew and stone. Nikko is where the soul finds its reflection. Every path leads to a bridge, every bridge to a revelation. Here, Japan reveals its most ancient face, a country that understands beauty as harmony and silence as wisdom. When dusk arrives and autumn leaves turn the mountains to golden fire, Nikko seems to vanish into its own light. And in that moment, one understands the old Japanese saying, "Do not say it is beautiful until you have seen Nikko." Shirakawa-go region. Amid the frozen mountains of Gifu lies a valley where time seems to sleep beneath a blanket of snow. Shirakawa-go, with its steep thatched roof houses, known as Gasho Zukuri, hands in prayer, is one of the last sanctuaries of old Japan. When winter paints everything white, the villages glow beneath the moon like small constellations upon the earth. The houses, built centuries ago without nails, withstand blizzards with the grace of ancestral wisdom. Their tall, thick straw roofs resemble natural temples raised against the cold. Inside, fire remains the heart of life, the warmth of the Irori. The hearth fills the air and paints the wooden walls in tones of amber. Outside, silence reigns. The loudest sound is that of snow falling. Slow, steady, endless. Smoke rises straight from chimneys into still air, carrying the scent of wood and roasted rice. From time to time, a bell echoes through the village, not as a call, but as a reminder that time still breathes. Shirakawa-go is more than a landscape. It is a living memory. Each house holds the spirit of generations who dreamed, labored, and endured here. At night, when lights glow behind frosted windows and snow reflects the shimmer of lanterns, the village seems to awaken inside a story. And in that quiet instant, one understands Japan's deepest beauty, the power to preserve the fleeting, to turn cold into warmth, isolation into harmony. Shirakawa-go is not a place to visit. It is a place to remember. Nara. Before Kyoto blossomed and Tokyo awoke, Nara was already meditating. It was Japan's first permanent capital, the place where history and faith first intertwined. Its wide avenues and quiet temples breathe the peace of centuries. Here, every stone and leaf seems to remember that this nation was born from contemplation. At the city's heart stands Todaiji Temple, one of the largest wooden structures in the world. Inside resides the Daibutsu, the great bronze Buddha, a colossal figure nearly 15 meters tall, whose gaze carries both the weight and the lightness of the universe. In the soft light filtering through the open doors, his face reflects perfect stillness, as though each visitor were a passing thought. Around the temple spreads Nara Park, a living sanctuary. Hundreds of deer wander freely among people, bowing their heads as if in greeting. They are considered messengers of the gods, and their gentle steps sound like prayers upon the ground. The air smells of pine and burning paper, and the wind seems to carry ancient voices. Nara is a mirror of the Japan that never ages, a place where faith does not demand, it simply exists, where silence holds more wisdom than words, and bronze speaks the same language as the mountain. When the sun sets and the Buddha sinks into golden shadow, one feels that time has not passed. It has merely breathed. Nara is not a memory of the past. It is the present that chose to remain. Okinawa. At the far south of the Japanese archipelago, the sea changes its voice. In Okinawa, blue deepens like a dream, shifting from turquoise to indigo, as if the sky itself had descended to live in the water. It is a different Japan, sunlit, slow, and silent, where life moves to the rhythm of the tides, and the past lingers in the memory of the wind. The Yaeyama Islands, on the country's edge, are fragments of untouched paradise. Among coral reefs, mangroves, and white sands, time expands until it fills the horizon. Schools of fish drift through underwater gardens, and turtles cross the seafloor with the patience of eternity. The sound of the waves is constant, an ancient, wordless song. The people of Okinawa carry a quiet wisdom. They call it Nuchi Gusui. Life is medicine. They live simply, in harmony with sun, soil, and sea. Here, aging is celebrated, and every wrinkle is a map of time lived. The voices of elderly women singing songs of gratitude echo like the island's own breath. In the villages, the scent of passion fruit and seaweed mingles with that of steaming rice. Children run by the shore, and wind chimes sway softly from verandas. At sunset, the sun sinks into the sea without a sound, erasing the final line of the visible world. Okinawa is where Japan becomes infinite, a place where life's fragility is met with tenderness, and death is understood as a return to the sea. When night falls and coral glows beneath the moon, the spirit knows paradise was never distant. It has always been the breath of the earth itself. Japan, an archipelago that breathes in cycles between birth and fading. After crossing its mountains, temples, seas, and forests, the traveler realizes that the country is not discovered. It is revealed slowly, like a flower that opens only to those who know how to wait. There is something eternal in Japanese delicacy, in the act of serving tea, in the arrangement of a flower, in the distant toll of a bell. Everything carries an awareness of the moment, the quiet knowledge that nothing lasts, and that precisely for this reason, everything matters. Japan teaches that beauty lies not in endurance, but in happening. From Kyoto's golden rooftops to the deep blue of Okinawa, from Shirakawa-go's snows to Nara's bronze gaze, every landscape carries the same truth. Silence is also life. Stillness, far from absence, is what gives shape to the soul. When the sun rises over Mount Fuji, its light touches the clouds first, then the earth. In that gesture, Japan is contained, a nation that begins in the sky and ends in the heart. And as the traveler departs, they understand. There is no distance between man and the sacred, for both dwell within the same breath of existence. Japan does not end when the film fades. It remains within those who have listened, like a soft echo, like a petal carried by the wind.